Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Joey D. Vieira, the beloved actor who lit up television screens as the lovable Sylvester Porky Brockway in the early seasons of Lassie, has died at the age of 80, just one day before his birthday. He died peacefully in hospital care, closing a chapter filled with young stardom, quiet perseverance, and a lifelong dedication to storytelling. His passing was confirmed by his longtime friend and Lassie co-star Jon Provost. Born in Los Angeles in 1944 and originally credited as Donald Keeler, Joey's wide-eyed charm and gentle presence made him a household name from 1954 to 1957, appearing in 91 Lassie episodes. With his signature beanie and loyal dog Porky by his side, Porky was more than just a sidekick. He was the heart of a simpler, more innocent era of American television. But beyond the warm glow of the screen, Joey struggled with the burdens that often clouded child stars. He returned home with a completely transformed physique, losing more than 50 pounds to take on new roles. Ironically, he had to gain the weight back for a role in the short-lived series Hank. Health challenges would follow in the years to come, but Joey never stopped creating. His later work included memorable appearances in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Patriot, and Nebraska, along with a prolific behind-the-scenes career as a composer, producer, and commercial director. Joey is survived by his daughter, Shannon, and was deeply saddened by the loss of his son, Beau, to cancer in 2023, passing away on April 7, 2025. His passing left a silent heartache, but his legacy lives on, in the innocent adventures of a boy in a beanie, running through fields with Lassie, and in the tenacious spirit of a man who never stopped chasing stories, no matter where they led.
I am singing underground in the subway stations.
Beneath the dim lights of New York City's crowded subway stations, a soaring, soulful voice once stopped busy commuters in their tracks. That voice belonged to Alice Tan Ridley. It wasn't the glitz of a big stage or the spotlight of television that defined her, but her resilience and unwavering love of music that carried her through life's hardships and into the hearts of millions. Born in 1952 in Charles Junction, Georgia, Alice was the seventh of 8 children. She moved to New York in 1971 with dreams of becoming a special education teacher. But life wasn't easy. After divorcing her husband, Ibnu Sidibe, Alice raised 2 children on her own, including the famous actress Gabourey Sidibe. To support her family, she turned to the city's subway platforms, where her powerful voice echoed through Herald Square, Union Square, and beyond, becoming a beloved underground icon. Although she won a televised talent show in 2002 and appeared on Showtime at the Apollo in 2005, it wasn't until 2010, at age 57, that Alice gained national recognition with her stunning performance of At Last on America's Got Talent. But behind the spotlight were years of financial struggles, chronic illness, and loneliness. There were times when she had no health insurance, was forced to stop singing because of severe back pain, and then faced dementia, which forced her to retire in 2018. Alice Tan Ridley passed away on March 25, 2025, in New York at the age of 72. Although the specific cause was not disclosed, she endured years of illness with quiet strength. She left behind a legacy of music, resilience, and heart, a voice for the people that will forever resonate throughout the city she called home. Barile, lead guitarist for the legendary hardcore band SSD and a pioneering icon of the straight-edge movement, died at the age of 63 on April 6, 2025, at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston. The news was confirmed by his wife, educator and author Nancy Barile on Instagram, who shared that Al had been diagnosed with colon cancer in 2022 and passed away peacefully with her by his side. Born in Lynn, Massachusetts on October 4, 1961, Alan Scott Barile grew up surrounded by hockey games and homemade Dracula movies. After listening to the Ramones, he discovered his passion for music and went on to form SSD Control while studying mechanical engineering at Northeastern University. SSD quickly became one of Boston's most influential hardcore bands, known for their anti-establishment message. With their ferocious guitars and uncompromising spirit, Barile and SSD paved the way for a generation of punk rockers who embraced a no-drink, no-drugs philosophy. Although SSD disbanded in 1985, their legacy lives on. Their debut albums, The Kids Will Have Their Say and Get It Away, are still considered hardcore classics. After the band broke up, Barile continued to write with his later band Gage and worked as an engineer at General Electric. He and SSD were recently inducted into the New England Music Hall of Fame, a fitting recognition for a lifetime of tireless dedication. Al Barile's passing is not only a loss to his family and friends, but also leaves a significant void in the global punk community. He was more than just a musician. He was an inspiration, a trailblazer for those who dare to be authentic, dare to be detached, dare to say no to self-destructive lifestyles. Farewell, Al. Your guitar will continue to resonate in the hearts of those who have, are, and will walk the path he created. In the memories of countless generations of music lovers, Brian James will forever remain a blazing pioneer, the man who ignited and embodied the rebellious, free-spirited essence of British punk rock. The gifted guitarist passed away at the age of 70, leaving behind a deep void in the hearts of friends, fellow musicians, and devoted fans. The news was confirmed through his official Facebook page, where he was remembered as one of the true pioneers of music. Although the cause of death has not been disclosed, his passing marks a tremendous loss for the global music community. Born Brian Robertson in 1955 in Hammersmith, London, Brian began his musical journey with the proto-punk band London SS, an incubator for many punk icons, before founding The Damned in 1976 alongside Dave Vanian, Captain Sensible, and Rat Scabies. With his sharp, fearless guitar style, he wrote New Rose, the very first punk single released in the UK, paving the way for an entire movement. Their debut album, Damned, 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 quickly became a cornerstone in punk history. After parting ways with The Damned, Brian continued to push creative boundaries. He collaborated with legendary artists like Iggy Pop, Stuart Copeland, Duff McKagan, and Clem Burke, while also releasing various solo projects. Although his career had its highs and lows, he never lost the raw, unfiltered artistic identity that made him a standout across decades and genres. Brian James is mourned by his wife, Minna, and his son, Charlie. Yet his guitar riffs, his defiant spirit, and his far-reaching influence will echo on. He was more than a musician. He was a living symbol of an unyielding era of sound, where every chord had the power to break the rules and set the world alight. A trailblazer of psychedelic rock and one of the most soulful guitarists of his generation, Jerry Miller leaves behind a legacy carved into the very roots of American music. As a founding member of Moby Grape, Miller's guitar work radiated raw energy and melodic brilliance, a sound that helped define the countercultural spirit of the 1960s Bay Area. With timeless tracks like Hey Grandma and 805, he didn't just play music, he told stories, each riff echoing with rebellion, hope, and heart. Born in Tacoma, Washington in 1943, Miller's passion for music ignited early. He cut his teeth in the Pacific Northwest bar scene and toured with Bobby Fuller before co-founding Moby Grape in 1966. The band's self-titled debut became an instant classic, and Miller's fiery lead guitar and co-writing talents propelled them to national attention. Yet despite critical acclaim, the band's momentum was undercut by inner struggles, including bandmate Skip Spence's mental health battles. The turbulence weighed heavily on Miller, who once reflected, "We could have had it all, but we ended up with pretty well nothing." In later years, Miller remained committed to his art, forming new projects like the Rhythm Dukes and continuing to perform back in his hometown of Tacoma. Though commercial success ebbed and flowed, his music never lost its soul, and neither did he. Those who saw him perform remember a man who gave everything to every note. Jerry Miller passed away suddenly on July 20th, 2024, at the age of 81. No cause of death has been disclosed, but what he gave the world, his sound, his spirit, will never be forgotten. On April 5th, 2025, the extraordinary artistic journey of Raymond Hawthorne, one of New Zealand's greatest theatre icons, came to a close at the age of 88. His passing marks the end of an era and leaves a profound sense of loss among the artistic community, his students, and audiences across the country. For over 6 decades, Hawthorne dedicated his life to the performing arts with a fiery passion and visionary leadership. Though the cause of death has not been publicly disclosed, his legacy will continue to resonate in the heart of Aotearoa's cultural heritage. Raymond Hawthorne began his career in 1955 with the New Zealand Players, and just 2 years later, was awarded a prestigious bursary to study at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London. In 1974, he founded Auckland's Theatre Corporate, a defining moment that helped shape the landscape of professional theatre in New Zealand. By 1985, he was appointed director of Mercury Theatre, where he directed a remarkable range of plays, operas, and musicals that reflected both artistic rigor and innovation. Despite his success, Hawthorne faced his share of challenges: limited funding, the pressure to uphold high artistic standards, and occasional criticism for his strict rehearsal methods. Yet, his unwavering commitment and love for the craft never faltered. As head of Unitec's School of Performing and Screen Arts from 2003, he nurtured generations of performers, leaving a lasting imprint on New Zealand's creative future. Raymond Hawthorne was not just an exceptional artist, he was a cultivator of passion, purpose, and belief in the power of theater. "He set the bar so high we had to reach for it," said actor Mark Hadlow. As Simon Prast reflected, his immeasurable contribution lives on in the work of those he taught and in the memories of all who saw him perform or witnessed his direction.
Right to see the world and want to testify.
News of Val Kilmer's passing on April 1st, 2025, has left Hollywood and fans around the world reflecting on a singular talent who lived and acted on his own terms. Kilmer was never one to follow convention, and that rebellious spirit defined a career filled with daring roles, intense devotion to his craft, and a refusal to be anything less than authentic. From his breakout in Top Secret to iconic turns in Top Gun, The Doors, and Batman Forever, Kilmer always brought more than talent. He brought soul. Born with a passion for performance, Kilmer became one of the youngest students ever accepted to Juilliard. But even before that, tragedy shaped his journey. The death of his younger brother Wesley haunted him throughout his life. becoming a quiet source of strength and perspective. His early film success was meteoric, but fame never felt like the prize. "Fame wasn't my priority," he once said, preferring the challenge of characters like Jim Morrison or Doc Holliday to blockbuster glory. The mid-2000s teens brought his greatest challenge yet: throat cancer. The disease robbed him of his voice, but not his spirit. Kilmer returned to the screen in 2022's Top Gun: Maverick, in a moving cameo that reminded audiences of the actor's profound presence. He also opened his life to viewers through the intimate 2021 documentary Val, co-created with his children, Jack and Mercedes. Despite health setbacks, he remained creatively active, full of dreams, including a wish to play Frankenstein in a Werner Herzog film. Kilmer's legacy is one of resilience, mystery, and deep artistry. As tributes pour in from friends, co-stars, and fans alike, one thing is clear: there was, and will never be, another Val Kilmer. What moment from his storied career resonated most with you? Share your thoughts below and help us honor the life of a true Hollywood original. Dolly Parton, a voice that rose from the mountains and touched the world. Dolly Parton was born on January 19, 1946, in a tiny one-room cabin nestled deep in the Great Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee. From her earliest days, music was as natural to her as breathing. Surrounded by a large, loving family and the sounds of Appalachian folk traditions, Dolly's childhood was steeped in melody and storytelling. Despite financial hardship, her home was rich in love and inspiration. Her natural talent emerged early, and her songs, often composed on a simple guitar, carried the voice of a girl wise beyond her years. By age 13, Dolly had recorded her first single, a step that would soon turn a young dreamer into a lifelong star. For many, it might have been a fleeting childhood passion, but for Dolly, it was the beginning of a mission: to share her heart and voice with the world. Her determination never wavered. Upon graduating high school, she made a bold move to Nashville, the heart of country music. There, she began working with seasoned songwriters, refining her craft with each note, and building relationships that would propel her forward. Throughout the 1960s, Dolly steadily built a name for herself, earning recognition for her songwriting brilliance and emotive singing. Her lyrics painted vivid pictures of life's joys and struggles, all delivered with warmth and authenticity. Her unique blend of tender vulnerability and spirited resilience made her a standout in a male-dominated industry. Her big break came through a partnership with country star Porter Wagoner. Appearing regularly on his television show, Dolly's charisma won over millions and opened doors to stardom. The exposure she gained through the show helped her blossom into a multifaceted entertainer. She learned the ins and outs of the music business, developed stage presence, and released numerous albums. But more than that, she cultivated a loyal fan base and gained the confidence to strike out on her own. In the early 1970s, Dolly made the difficult decision to part ways with Porter Wagoner. It was a pivotal moment that marked her transition from protege to independent artist, a move that would define her enduring legacy. Her solo career soared with iconic hits like Jolene and I Will Always Love You, showcasing not only her vocal power, but also her lyrical prowess. These songs, laced with longing and strength, resonated across genres and generations. Dolly's ability to fuse traditional country roots with modern sensibilities broadened her appeal and positioned her as a true crossover artist. As her star continued to rise, she also began to reveal her natural humor, warmth, and wit in interviews and public appearances, quickly becoming beloved far beyond the music world. Dolly's artistic reach expanded throughout the 1980s and 1990s. She starred in hit films like 9 to 5 and Steel Magnolias, where her charisma and comedic timing shone just as brightly as her vocals. Her music tackled timely themes, especially the empowerment of working women, without losing the catchy melodies fans adored. Her willingness to explore pop music and television was never about abandoning her roots. It was about embracing her versatility. Through every new venture, Dolly stayed true to her values and voice. One of the clearest signs of Dolly's creative spirit lies in her entrepreneurial efforts. The creation of Dollywood, her beloved theme park in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, was both a celebration of Appalachian culture and an economic boon to the region. Her business savvy extended to publishing, production, and philanthropy. Most notably, her Imagination Library program, launched in 1995, has delivered millions of free books to children worldwide, promoting literacy and education, a cause deeply close to her heart. Despite her massive success, Dolly's journey hasn't been without hardship. Over the years, she has faced periods of intense scrutiny regarding her personal life, physical appearance, and even her artistic choices. At times, these pressures took a toll on her mental and emotional well-being. Though she has remained fiercely private about specific medical issues, she has hinted in interviews at battles with exhaustion and the toll that a demanding tour and recording schedule can take. Dolly has also undergone surgeries to protect her vocal cords, her most treasured asset, and has spoken about the importance of hydration, rest, and vocal discipline to maintain her signature sound. These quiet struggles behind the scenes revealed a layer of vulnerability not always visible to the public. Yet even in the face of weariness, she consistently credited her strength to a blend of faith, determination, and the support of loved ones. Her ability to show up, sing, and uplift, even on her hardest days, is a testament to the depth of her dedication and resilience. Loss has been a profound part of Dolly's life, with the passing of loved ones who shaped her early years. These experiences often found their way into her songwriting, tender ballads that provided solace to herself and to millions. Her long-lasting marriage to Carl Dean offered stability in the whirlwind of her career. Though they've kept their relationship largely out of the spotlight, their bond has been a source of quiet strength for Dolly, proving that behind every legend is a life of real love and support. Now in her 70s, Dolly Parton continues to inspire. Whether through her philanthropic work, new musical releases, or collaborations with artists from all genres, she remains a beacon of creativity and compassion. Her ability to evolve while remaining grounded in her roots is a testament to her authenticity. From a humble mountain cabin to stages across the globe, Dolly's journey is one of resilience, generosity, and unmatched artistry. She has become more than a country star. She is an enduring cultural icon, reminding us that dreams, when pursued with heart, really can come true.
I enjoyed more than most of the films that I've been in, because it was...
With a familiar presence on screen that spanned an entire century, Glynis Johns became a timeless symbol of grace, talent, and unmistakable charm. The legendary actress, best known for her role as the spirited Mrs. Banks in Mary Poppins, 1964, passed away peacefully on January 4, 2024, at the age of 100. She died of natural causes at an assisted living facility in West Hollywood, bringing to a close an extraordinary artistic journey that inspired generations. Born in 1923 in Pretoria, South Africa, Glynis was destined for a life in the arts. Her mother was a concert pianist, and her father, Mervyn Johns, was a respected actor. Johns began her career on stage as a teenager and quickly rose to fame in British cinema before captivating audiences in Hollywood. With her signature husky voice and elegant presence, she earned an Academy Award nomination for The Sundowners, 1960, and won a Tony Award for her unforgettable role as Desiree in A Little Night Music, 1973, where she introduced Stephen Sondheim's iconic song, Send in the Clowns, written especially for her. Though her life in the spotlight was luminous, it was not without hardship. Johns endured 4 marriages and faced the heartbreaking loss of her only son, actor Gareth Forwood. Still, she never allowed personal sorrow to dim her light. Even in her final years, she remained witty, poised, and radiant, famously saying at age 100, "I've looked good at every age." Glynis Johns leaves behind no immediate family, but her legacy is immeasurable. Her performances, poise, and unforgettable voice will forever echo in the hearts of those who love the stage and screen. She was not only beautiful at every age, she was unforgettable in every moment.
I already told you, I never killed anybody. I got one rule at my fights. Both guys leave.
Peter Navy Tuiasosopo, beloved actor and a trailblazer for Polynesian representation in Hollywood, has passed away at the age of 61. Known for his commanding presence and warm spirit, Peter left behind a legacy that extends far beyond the screen. His son Manoa confirmed the heartbreaking news on February 10th, sharing that his father died peacefully at 3:16 a.m. in Phoenix, Arizona, following complications related to heart issues. His strength, love, compassion, and kindness will forever be felt, Manoa wrote. My dad lived an amazing life, and in no way does his impact stop here. Peter's career began with a bang in the early 90s when he starred as Manumana in Necessary Roughness, earning praise for his charisma and natural comedic timing. But it was his iconic role as E. Honda in the cult film Street Fighter that truly immortalized him in pop culture. Over the years, he continued to build a diverse filmography, with appearances in Basketball, The Scorpion King, Austin Powers in Goldmember, and The Fast and the Furious, showcasing his range from action to comedy. On television, he left his mark in shows like Magnum P.I., New Girl, NCIS, and The Young and the Restless. Behind the cheerful performances and larger-than-life roles, Peter faced private health struggles that he rarely spoke about. In his final years, he battled ongoing heart complications that quietly affected his daily life. Despite these health challenges, he continued to show up with resilience, always ready to give his best on screen and inspire those around him. His strength was not only in his physicality, but in the grace and quiet perseverance with which he lived. Peter Navy Tuiasosopo's passing is a profound loss for both his family and the wider film and television community. His warmth, authenticity, and cultural pride will be remembered as fondly as the characters he brought to life.
Well, my first Disney job was in 1959.
Peter Renaday, the legendary voice actor best known for bringing wisdom and heart to Master Splinter in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, has passed away at the age of 89. On the evening of September 8, 2024, police conducted a welfare check at his Burbank home and found him unresponsive. Paramedics confirmed his passing at the scene. There were no signs of trauma or foul play, and authorities have ruled the death as natural. His agent later confirmed the heartbreaking news to People. Renaday, with a career spanning decades, was a cherished figure in the world of animation and voice acting. Beyond Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, his voice brought life to millions of Disney classics, such as The $1,000,000 Duck, The Cat from Outer Space, and Little Robin Crusoe, USN. Known not just for his incredible vocal range, but also for his warmth and humility, Peter was regarded as much for his artistry as for his gentle spirit. Colleagues and friends across the industry, including Townsend Coleman, Cam Clark, Sam Quasman, and Ike Eisenman, have shared heartfelt tributes. Clark, in tears, wrote of the profound loss. We just lost our amazing sensei, Master Splinter, and dearest friend. Coleman described Renaday as genuine and vibrant, even at 89, while Quasman fondly recalled their regular brunches and Renaday's treasured stories from the golden age of Disney. Peter Renaday may have quietly left this world, but the voice that guided heroes, delighted generations, and stirring imaginations will echo for years to come. In every whisper of wisdom and every moment of nostalgia, his legacy lives on, timeless, beloved, and unforgettable.
Welcome to the richest, most dangerous game in America.
When we think of Chuck Woolery, we don't just remember the dazzling career he built, but also admire the fierce spirit and tireless dedication he brought to every chapter of his life. With his warm voice, charismatic presence, and signature charm, Woolery became an irreplaceable icon of American television, hosting beloved game shows such as Love Connection, Scrabble, and Wheel of Fortune. He passed away at the age of 83 at his home in Texas, with his wife Kristen by his side, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate with generations of fans. Born in Ashland, Kentucky, Woolery began his artistic journey in music before finding his true calling in television. From serving in the Navy to performing in the psychedelic rock duo The Avant-Garde, and eventually becoming one of America's most cherished game show hosts, Woolery's career path was as dynamic as it was inspiring. In 1975, he became the original host of Wheel of Fortune, paving the way for a decades-long career in broadcasting. Later in life, he ventured into political podcasting, where his outspoken conservative views sparked both praise and criticism. Notably, his public comments on COVID-19 drew intense backlash, comments he later softened when his own son contracted the virus. These moments revealed a man unafraid to speak his mind, but also willing to reflect, acknowledge, and grow. Chuck Woolery's life was a tapestry of reinvention, from musician to television star to political commentator. Through every reinvention, he remained authentic, passionate, and unapologetically himself. His passing is a profound loss, not only to those who knew him personally, but to millions who welcomed him into their homes and hearts. His voice, his humor, and his presence will be remembered as part of television history and as the echo of a man who lived with conviction.
Shy, and I was too embarrassed. And then I was going to NYU, and the thing to be in those days was...
The legacy that Peter Engel leaves behind is not only defined by his outstanding achievements, but by the way he inspired others and radiated positive energy through everything he created. As the visionary behind Saved by the Bell, a cultural cornerstone of the 1990s, Engel brought laughter, heart, and life lessons into millions of homes. He passed away peacefully at his home in Santa Monica on March 4, 2025, at the age of 88, leaving a profound mark on generations who grew up watching his shows. Peter Engel began his career humbly as an NBC page before rising through the ranks to become one of television's most influential teen showrunners. Starting with Good Morning, Miss Bliss on the Disney Channel, he reimagined the format to launch Saved by the Bell on NBC in 1989. The show became a Saturday morning staple, launching the careers of its young stars and spawning spin-offs like The College Years and Saved by the Bell, The New Class. But Engel's journey wasn't without struggle. In his early years, he faced repeated setbacks and industry skepticism, particularly regarding his vision for youth-centered storytelling. Balancing meaningful content with entertainment value across hundreds of episodes was a constant challenge. Peter Engel leaves behind not only a vast body of work, over 1,000 episodes of television, but also a powerful message of hope. In his memoir, I Was Saved by the Bell, he wrote, "My life is proof that if you believe and act on your dreams, beautiful things can happen." With heart, humor, and an unwavering spirit, Engel proves just that, every step of the way.
And I had the privilege of traveling the world
a fashion legend bids farewell after a century of grace. Polly Mellon, an enduring icon of the global fashion world, has peacefully passed away at the age of 100. Her departure marks the end of a remarkable life devoted to beauty, creativity, and innovation. From a young girl in West Hartford, Connecticut, with an early fascination for clothing, Polly steadily carved her path to become one of the most influential fashion editors of the 20th century, leaving an indelible legacy in both fashion journalism and the wider style industry. Born in 1924, Polly Allen was a graduate of the prestigious Miss Porter's School, alma mater, to figures like Jackie Kennedy and Lily Pulitzer. She began her career modestly at Lord & Taylor, but with her sharp eye and fearless approach, Polly quickly rose through the ranks of the editorial world. She made her mark at major publications such as Vogue, Harper's Bazaar, Allure, and Mademoiselle. Known for her avant-garde sensibilities, as she once described, Polly didn't follow trends, she created them. Though she didn't come from a fashion family, she recalled her parents as immensely chic. In interviews, she spoke of finding inspiration not just on the runway but on the streets, where, she believed, the pulse of real life and true style could be found. After retiring at 77, she chose a quiet life with family, turning down projects she felt no longer met the standards of her lifelong passion. Her passing is a great loss to fashion. As Vogue once wrote, Polly Mellon was never content with the status quo. She was a trailblazer. Though her light has dimmed, her legacy continues to shine brightly, guiding new generations along the path she helped forge.
It's a genuine honor. I wasn't expecting it, and it does, because it's very grown up here.
Simon Cowell, the sharp tongue that shaped global talent. Now, let us turn our attention to the extraordinary journey of Simon Cowell, the man behind some of the world's most iconic talent shows, and the figure who helped redefine what it means to discover greatness. From early struggles and financial setbacks to building a global television empire, Cowell's story is one of resilience, vision, and an unshakable belief in raw talent. Whether praised for his brutal honesty or criticized for his cutting remarks, his legacy as a tastemaker and entertainment powerhouse is undeniable. Simon Cowell, widely known for his sharp tongue and unfiltered critiques on global talent shows, was born on October 7, 1959, in Lambeth, London. Raised in Elstree, Hertfordshire, Cowell developed an early interest in entertainment, shaped largely by his father's work at EMI Music Publishing. Though he never quite fit into conventional school settings, Cowell thrived in environments that encouraged creativity. This mismatch with formal education would become a recurring theme in his early life, as he bounced between schools before leaving entirely to pursue hands-on experience in the industry. From a young age, he had a clear instinct for what captured public attention and a rebellious streak that refused to settle for the ordinary. Cowell's first steps into the world of music were modest but formative. Thanks to his father's connections, he began working in the mailroom at EMI, where he observed firsthand how the industry operated, from talent scouting to production and promotion. These early encounters shaped his understanding of not just musical artistry, but the importance of timing, image, and marketing. Though some might have viewed his start as privileged, Cowell quickly demonstrated his own eye for talent. He later took on various small jobs, including working as a runner on film sets, but he remained focused on finding voices that stood out. Over time, he developed a personal sense of what made an artist connect with an audience, laying the groundwork for his future career. In the 1980s, Cowell co-founded Fanfare Records, which had moderate success, most notably with the hit single So Macho by Sunita. However, the label eventually failed, leading to significant financial losses. At one point, Cowell had to move back in with his parents, heavily in debt. But rather than give up, he took what he learned and began again, this time as an A&R consultant at BMG. There, he rebuilt his credibility and started identifying niche artists with mainstream potential. While many of his projects, such as novelty singles or themed compilation albums, were unconventional, they showed Cowell's unique ability to tap into what audiences subconsciously wanted, even if critics scoffed at his choices. His major breakthrough came in 2001 with the launch of Pop Idol in the UK, where Cowell served as both judge and behind-the-scenes creative force. His brutally honest style divided opinions, but drew in massive viewership. Audiences were intrigued by the combination of heartfelt performances and Cowell's unpredictable feedback. The success of Pop Idol laid the foundation for American Idol in 2002, which made Cowell a household name in the United States. There, his critiques became infamous, sometimes cruel, often accurate, and always unforgettable. While some viewers were put off by his directness, many admired his refusal to sugarcoat opinions, seeing him as a rare voice of honesty in a culture of flattery. Following this momentum, Cowell launched The X Factor in 2004, a show that expanded the talent format to include groups and younger contestants. The program introduced more personal mentoring, allowing judges to shape contestants' journeys. It was a major success, producing stars like Leona Lewis and One Direction. Cowell also spearheaded international versions of both The X Factor and Got Talent, effectively creating a global franchise empire. His production company, Psycho Entertainment, became a powerful force in music and television, developing artists and shows across multiple markets. Cowell's influence now extended far beyond his on-screen presence, shaping the careers of artists through both exposure and strategic development. However, Cowell's relentless drive came at a cost. As his empire expanded, so did the toll on his health. In 2017, he fainted at home due to low blood pressure, and in 2020, a more serious incident occurred when he broke his back in an electric bike accident. Multiple surgeries and rehabilitation followed, forcing him to step back temporarily from several projects. These events prompted Cowell to adopt a healthier lifestyle, including a plant-based diet and more cautious exercise routines. Though his on-screen energy appeared slightly subdued upon return, he remained committed to his work, still guiding talent and pushing creative boundaries with new show concepts. Tragedy struck Cowell's personal life with the deaths of both his parents, his father in 1999 and his mother in 2015. He rarely spoke publicly about the emotional impact, but insiders noted that these losses deeply affected him. At one point, he admitted in interviews that his drive for success felt hollow without loved ones to share it with. The arrival of his son, Eric, in 2014, with partner Lauren Silverman, brought a new sense of purpose. Naming the boy after his late father, Cowell began to speak more openly about fatherhood, describing it as the most joyful chapter of his life. Observers noticed a shift in his demeanor, with more moments of warmth balancing his trademark bluntness. In addition to television and music, Cowell became involved in various philanthropic efforts. He supported causes such as children's hospitals, animal welfare, and disaster relief. From donating large sums to organizing celebrity-driven telethons, Cowell used his influence to direct public attention to charitable initiatives. While some questioned whether these actions were partly image-driven, the tangible impact on beneficiaries spoke for itself. His ability to merge entertainment with altruism revealed a more complex character than the one seen on screen, a businessman who understood the power of publicity but also recognized the responsibility of fame. As the industry shifted with the rise of streaming and digital platforms, Cowell showed adaptability. He explored interactive formats and considered ways to bring talent discovery into the digital age. Shows like X Factor, Celebrity, and America's Got Talent Extreme were part of efforts to maintain novelty. Discussions emerged about future shows that would allow real-time voting through social media, blending television with mobile engagement. Even as newer trends emerged, Cowell's instincts for public taste remained sharp. His role evolved from television judge to creative architect, constantly steering the genre in new directions. Though often criticized for being harsh or overly commercial, Cowell's influence is undeniable. His success stems not just from spotting talent, but from understanding how stories of struggle and triumph resonate with viewers. Contestants have credited his tough love with motivating them to reach new heights. Over time, Cowell became both a symbol of opportunity and a figure of challenge, someone who could make or break a dream with a single comment. This tension fueled viewer interest and kept talent shows relevant for decades. Today, Simon Cowell remains one of the most recognizable faces in entertainment. He continues to appear on Britain's Got Talent and America's Got Talent, while managing ongoing projects through Psycho Entertainment. His public image has softened, but his standards remain high. Whether championed for launching careers or criticized for delivering harsh truths, Cowell has redefined the landscape of televised talent discovery. From mailroom beginnings to global fame, his journey reflects a blend of intuition, ambition, and resilience. A man who turned opinion into power and critique into cultural currency.